got my needs. Ooh, 'cause if I wanna be happy, I gotta get off my ass cheeks. Moving on to reach new heights, yeah. If you wanna get nasty, we gotta go to the backseat. Love it when we're playing hide. It's so much fun when you live your life. No one tells you wrong from right, yeah. Making up all the rules you like. Planning for another night, a night. It's so much fun when you live your life. No one tells you wrong from right, yeah. Making up all the rules you like. Planning for another night, a night. That's what I like. That's what I like. I'm for another night. I like. I'm for another night. I like. I'm for another night. Yeah, I like. I like. I like.
Okay, we're gonna get this out the way. I have to tell you now because things have unfortunately backfired. But um, let's just hurry up. We know that the Heat team in Brooklyn is connected to Gene, okay, as well as the Scorpio man. It needs to be closed down immediately. All right, we see that it's connected to more than just hits. It's connected to hospitals that do human trafficking, sex changing, AI, cloning, and more. All right. If you don't stop this hit team or shut it down, okay, they will be going to jail and getting caught for everything that they are a part of and that they have done. It's deeper than just hits. It will be the worst decision of your life to keep it going. Why? Because Gene is dead. This nigga died in my city, and they are on niggas ass, okay? They won't ever let these motherfuckers who are part of this hit team be free from prison, and they might even suffer executions. I'm not gonna hold you. It's really bad for Brooklyn's hit team right now. Their future look bad with Gene being dead, and the trafficking and everything they got going on connected to Gene and Jamal as well as the Scorpio man. We're done. I just see that their future changes, not for the better, for the worse, because they get caught, and it's connected to Gene being dead and Jamal being in jail. It's not looking pretty. Okay, they're finding out where these homes are located. They're finding out the hospital ambulances where they be parking and shit at these houses. They're all getting caught up and killed. It's not funny no more. You know what I'm saying? So I saw that the Brooklyn Hit team was called by an Aquarius man to come out here recently and set me up, and I saw you guys got scared because you were about to go to jail in my city, and you never gonna get out. I'm trying to tell you, we have too much is connected to, and so they got scared and took a trip back to Brooklyn. But I'm trying to tell you is y'all might want to choose just for the hitters. Y'all might want to choose another motherfucker to work for, because yo people are dying or they're going to jail, and Spirit show me you're not gonna be protected. Your hit team's gonna all fail. The best thing you can do is bounce out and let these motherfuckers shut down. The best thing you can do is shut them down, okay? With the Taurus, Scorpio, Cancer. All right, so that's the first message. Brooklyn's hit team's done. You're like, fuck. I'm trying to tell you, something here is not looking pretty. Not looking pretty. All right. Next up, we're gonna go into December 26 messages. I wrote this all down, so it's not gonna be like I have to pull out my cards for anything. If I'm not mistaken, it's all clear, accurate messages. So on December 26th, I heard a conversation between the Libra African man, all right, the doctor, the cloning doctor. He works with Brooklyn too. Yeah, the hit team connect to the Aries, right? Gene, that's his hit team. Okay, they telling on everything because they're dead. I know that. Gene's dead. I know that the Libras, if I'm not mistaken, in jail. No, just like Jamal is backfiring. Something here is backfiring. But he was having a conversation with the man who was raising me. Okay, and he told the man who was raising me, that's been raising me illegally under the guise of the trafficking. He didn't know, but he told him in the hospital. He said it's not going to help your oxidox. Now, what I found out was oxidox is a disease connected to men's penis. Okay, it's a disease that closes your penis to where you cannot have children, or it's really hard to have children when you have oxidox. And it was said, like I said, by the African Libra man, the cloning doctor, the sex changing doctor, that sex change Amanda Steele and Kia in the more, okay? He was talking about this to the man who was raising me named James Watson Jr., telling him that it's not gonna help your oxidox, excuse me. He was telling him that because he was asking about pills. And Spirit said, that's the man who raised me, James. That's his confirmation that I'm not his child, that Libra African doctor had everything to do with this. And he was telling him that even pills or medicine wouldn't help with his oxidox. I never heard of this until I heard it in my sleep. Spirit showed me what it meant, what it was. And so after that, the dream transition, now I'm in this dream where I'm working a job that's for a movie film. Okay, I'm doing a movie. I'm doing a film, and it was with Mark Zuckerberg was a part of the movie, a couple other people, and it was with I know the man who was kind of helping direct it is crazy. I never seen him as like a director really, but he was a part of the director's chair, and I don't know his name, but I know he's from the movie Holes. He's a white man from the movie Holes. He was a kid in the movie Holes, like on the movie. He was working as one of the prisoners, in the camps on the movie Holes. He's white. He had like, if I'm not mistaken, reddish, orangish, like an orangish hair, but he was white with these freckles on his face, like pimples and freckles. He was the bully in the show or in the movie. Okay. I also know, I think if I'm not mistaken, he's from a movie with Leonardo. If I'm not mistaken, it's a movie Leonardo, but he was older. If I'm not mistaken, in that movie, it was called Flower Moon or something. Okay, and he was both in those two movies. He was the actor, So I remember him from Hoes, but in this one, nah. When I was filming, I was a Taurus masculine. My children were Kenny and Chris, the two Gemini twins, and I had saw that he was a part of the director's chair. Like he was a part of that group of people, guide you and direct you on how to do the movie. So it was a movie scene. Mark Zuckerberg was in the movie though as an actor, and it was a scene I was doing where it was snowy, right? It was snow, snow, snow. I was climbing on the mountains, okay, and it was on some stunt double type shit. You're like, yeah, but I know as I was climbing on the mountains, I had to be scared, as the scene displayed me being like on an actual mountain or on an actual cliff. You're like, yeah. Mhm. And I was climbing up this mountain that has snow on it, and it was dangerous, right? I had to be careful, but it was a movie scene, right? And I just know that when I had tried to like get up on the top of the mountain, I remember I could see underneath me. I wasn't like really on a mountain. I saw that there was little seats, like these little space areas in between where my feet were, that you could just jump inside of. Um it was like as if a mountain was made on the outside of a movie theater seating room. Okay, you're like, yeah, have a seating area, and the movie theater has all these different aisle seats. Imagine that, but imagine it being covered pretty much with a mountain, or like each part of the seat row had a mountain design on it, to where you think that it's all a mountain because all you're seeing is these big glaciers, or these big rocks, or these big, right, mountains. But in between each wall, there's actually these little seats you can just jump down, like you would never really fall. It was acting. Okay, you're like, I never seen it in real time. That was my first time seeing how that could be. I was like, oh, I can understand now if people are climbing mountains and stuff in movies. It looks scary to us, but whole time they're not really climbing on a real mountain. It's like in between each part of the mountain, there's seats or stands for you to jump on to protect yourself. You're not really gonna fall. It's impossible. So I saw I was protected. I finished the movie scene with Mark Zuckerberg, and the dude, like I said, from Hose, he was directing me, and he wasn't holding on to a camera. He was talking though, and when I got done, I told him, I said I want to go get some weed. There was like a little dispensary, but it wasn't a real dispensary. It was in a bathroom, and it was significant. It was in this bathroom area where you can go inside this location, and they had a bathroom that had a mirror attached to it that was like able to open and close for you to buy weed through the glass mirror. You're like, yes, okay. The mirror in the bathroom was where you get the weed. It was behind the mirror. You open up the mirror when you're like at the sink, and then that's where they got the dispensary type shit. And it was a man of color. He got these dreads. He was a heavy set man of color, like caramel. He had these dreads. His dreads had length to him. He could have been like a Leo. He had these dreads though that went down a little bit past his ear. You know what I'm saying? Not too long, but they went out as well. And so before I went to the dispensary, I told the dude from Hose, the dude from Flower Moon, I told them, I told him like I want to buy some weed. I said I need some money. I need some real quick. So he laughed. He gave me $100 bill. He said, "Yeah, here you go." He was cool. He gave me $100 bill. He gave me some fives, ones, and a 50. All right, and I took that money for me to buy weed at this little unknown dispensary inside of that bathroom that had the mirror as the door to talk through. And I saw that I was a man. I looked similar to Kendrick. It was significant. I saw I was a man though. Okay. And um I know when I asked the man about how much the prices were, he couldn't tell me through his mouth. He had to write this stuff down on a paper. So I was seeing like I asked how much is for that. He wrote on the paper. I said how much for that. All the prices of the weed was expensive. Like I had $100 something, almost 200, but it was still too expensive. Like I could afford it, but I just didn't want to pay that price. He was like, yeah, come on now, it's backdoor garden weed, nigga. This is this is the backdoor garden weed. So I was just thinking like, nigga, I'm not finna pay all that for this. We was just trying to rip me off because, right, we actors over here and shit. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing all this. So, nah, he was overcharging and it wasn't good weed. It was backdoor weed. I don't want no back door. I don't want no back door. So I said, it's cool. And I just didn't pay. And so I left and let me see. Yeah, I left. I was like, I wanted a heavy indica to put me to sleep. I told him like I need a heavy indica. I ain't been smoking in a while, and I could finally smoke. I need a heavy indica, and nah, he was like, oh no, these don't be prices. And I was like, it's too much money. But what was significant about that, Spirit said, is that whoever the director was that was filming that movie in a past life when I was a tourist masculine, Kenny and Chris's father, he worked with Michael B. Jordan today. And Michael B. Jordan asked this same director to make a movie based on me being a high priestess who needs to be protected from judgment from the outside world. And Michael B., he would be like in the movie as my lover, and I would be like his wife or his companion. But I was like, why would Michael B. ask the director to do that? Spirit said, because Michael B., he shows me that they won't let me come around him or his community or anything without me being a part of the industry, or like, working in that industry or doing something like that connected to a job, because they don't want people around that's not a part. But if they be having people around that's not a part, but I'm a special case because the bitch talk too much. They don't like what I know, what I said. You like, yeah, they kind of control you, right? But he wants me to be a part of his life, and he wants me to work with him. And the director, he agreed to do that. So they're working on that. Spirit show me. And there's women that's in his city, Michael B. Jordan city. You like, yeah, they compete for his time, his attention, his interest. And he's just not interested. He want to find a way to get me there, get me paid, and get me love. You like, yeah. So that's what he's been working on. That's what's significant about that dream. But yeah, these people though, they still acting like the past life people today. Like something here has to do with people who have died and were robbed, okay? Made through AI cloning. That's why Gene, Jamal, all these people are significant. This is why Brooklyn got to go, because they're the reason why people keep people keep having their deaths be fake. You understand? You're like, yeah, the Libra African people are being killed, and it's not known they're being killed. No funerals, and people's deaths being covered up, and people us are being created as AI and clone and robbed identities from people hiding people's deaths. Okay, it's very significant. And so after that, I saw Adam Levine, nigga. He was talking about he was talking about I don't mind spending every day out on the corner in the cold and rain. Dumb as fuck. I was like, what's the fuck? Why is he singing? Because I'm family with Miles. I'm friends with Miles, and I just wanted to sing at a party or an event that you guys are going to be a part of, or you're going to be hosting, me and Justin Timberlake. And I said, oh, hell no, Miles Teller. I said, these motherfuckers ain't getting no attention at my shit, yo shit, our shit. If it's connected to me, they going to have to bye-bye, baby. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, they're not competing for attention, for views, none of that. We will play our own band, or we would get our own band to play instrumentals, or we would get a DJ set to play their music. I could have DJ play that. I don't need you in there in real time. And that's why Justin Timberlake was trying to compete. These niggas is trying to get their name back out there. They're like, no fuck way. Yes, somebody here want to be revamped, all right? Reinvented. You ain't finna be revamped, reinvented at my shit. That's what I'm trying to tell them, Spirit. They want to come to something that's for me, take the attention off me. So after that, I saw Will Ferrell, right? And I was like, why is Will Ferrell significant? And Spirit said, because he was watching you online, because Justin Timberlake got offended by the truth. The family, they're offended. That's connected to Miles telling you, like, yeah, they're mad. And Spirit showed me that they want to sing at our events in the future. Miles planning events and shit for us to have, because he got plans for us. And they talking about, well, I want to sing. They want attention. And Spirit said they just want to be talked about again. They want to be seen again. They want to be recognized again. They getting old. And so they told the family on me, talking about, yeah, she's talking all this, saying all this. It was nothing but the truth, because they was butthurt. I said, look, Spirit, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. If they trying to reclaim their position as an artist in the industry, my thing is, like, why I gotta be out our shit, Miles? You like, yeah. Why you gotta take the attention off me as if I can't sing? Right. As if I haven't been being blocked from being seen or heard or any of that shit, right? I said, why you gotta compete? Like, why I gotta be like that? So Spirit said, no, Will Ferrell's cool. But with Ferrell, he needs to know that these motherfuckers only talking about us behind our back, or like trying to get them on board, because they want attention again. They want to feel like they're stars. They feel like they've lost their touch. They've lost their Midas. You're like, yeah, they feel like they're old. Nobody want to hear them no more. So they want to get clout off me and Miles's connection, or our future events that we're gonna be having. Something to do with events. You're like, I want to be seen. I'm like, look, I choose Coldplay, nigga, before I choose you. Nigga, on my show, nigga, I choose Rascal Flatts, nigga, before I choose you, nigga. Nigga, I choose Hannah, nigga, Billie Eilish, huh, Justin Bieber, huh, nigga, the Dixie Chicks, before I choose, yeah. They will never be chosen. They're not first in line. I don't know why they think that. I said, I don't mind sending you on your way, out on the corner in the cold and rain. You saw a girl with a broken smile. Ask her if you could sing a while, and she will say no, and she will say no. So that's the remix. All right, you done fuck. I said, no way, Spirit. She will say no. Adam Levine, don't ask her. Don't ask Miles. If she gonna say no, Miles, don't ask me. Like, no. And no, you heard who I choose first. I just told you. Coldplay, nigga. Rascal Flatts can come back, nigga. That was my time, nigga. Hannah, nigga. Billie Eilish, nigga. Justin Bieber, Dixie Chicks. So they like, I know good music. They is not in no more. You like, no, not for forever and a day. They're done. And these type of people who compete. Anyway, December 27th. So on December 27th, there was this man that I saw. He was in like a bus. It was like a charter bus. A Sprinter. Okay, Spirit said it's a Sprinter We were on a sprinter, and this man had on fade. He had on shades. Excuse me. He had a fade. He had on shades, black shades, and he was attractive. He was caramel, and he was on the bus, like on the sprinter bus with me and Miles, DDG, the Shade, Dub, and a couple other people. Right? You like, yeah. Now, the dude, his name's Demetrius. Demetrius was sitting in front of me. Okay, and DDG and I know DDG and Deshay was sitting in front of Demetrius, and I was next to Miles, so Miles didn't feel alone because it was all of DDG and them's people, right? You like, yeah. And Dub was like behind us, but in the back with other people too, and they was arguing with their sister TT, right? The little sister TT, like, yeah. It was on the phone. They was all arguing with TT. I'm talking about all of them were besides me and Miles. Who wasn't saying shit. And Demetrius wasn't really saying shit either. But TT, I guess, was lying on their names, and it was like they really had beef with TT. You know, it was real beef. She was saying shit online, cutting the fuck up. And I was sitting next to Miles, and Demetrius, he cute as hell, but Demetrius said to Miles, he was like, he looked back while these niggas arguing with TT online and shit. He looked back and said, "I'm Demetrius, right?" And I knew like me and him knew each other, but I said, I said to Miles, I was like, he's not my boyfriend, but he'll take me anywhere like he is. Cause he spoiled me. Demetrius loved me. Like he treated me like I'm his girlfriend in the past. Like, he like, yeah, but he didn't have no title. He ain't need one. He gonna take me anywhere like I'm his girlfriend. He like, I don't need a title. But while he was telling Miles that his name was Demetrius, he's like, I'm Demetrius. This nigga gonna grab my hand and try to kiss it. You know, you like, yeah, he's such a suave. And I just remember Miles used to be like, oh my gosh. He would be like, this nigga, yeah, Miles, they crazy. You know how men of color is. You stupid spit. Hold on. All right, my fault. After that, let me see. The dream transition. So now we at this, it looks like a school, okay? Look like a location where you could have school. And the same people are in this dream, right? Is me, Miles, PDG, Shed, and there's more people now. Demetrius, there's more people though there. The people from different areas there. We was all at this school doing challenges. Some of the challenges had water. Some of the challenges had objects that were indoors though. It was all indoors. Like the water obstacles were indoors. The other objective challenges were indoors. There was different challenges, but they were all obstacle courses, okay? They were indoors. And I just remember people, there was girls there, they was so jealous because I was getting all this attention. And they was so jealous I was getting all this attention. And them girls, I had been singing Mrs. Jones. I don't know if that's the title, but I know that song. And I just remember I had walked away for a second from the obstacle courses while they was waiting to do the next course. It was after one of the water challenges. And if you lose, you got to get in the water, right? Like you lose. The obstacle course is designed for you to get in the water if you lose. It's like tug of war type shit, right? And if somebody, your team gets pulled off to the water, you all go in the water, right? You're like, yeah, it's like that. So after I didn't go in the water. My team won that challenge, but I walked off because they were getting ready to start the next challenge, next obstacle course. They transitioned. People had to dry up, and I walked off for a second while they transitioning, and I was singing. I just said, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. And I just hear these bitches, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones. I'm like, oh hell no, like, I can't sing Miss Jones by myself. It was girls. They couldn't sing. I hit it though. It was clean. I was like, Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones. They was like, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, pissing me the fuck off, hating ass bitches. And I just rolled my eyes like, I'm not finna finish, man. I ain't finna say the last Mrs. Jones. Like, I ain't finna finish it, man. You just killed the frequency, so. They didn't get no attention for that, right? And the niggas laughing. I'm rolling my eyes like, oh hell, this bitch is copycat. And so after that, I heard the people who were hosting the challenges. They said, we're gonna stop inviting Denver and Boston to these challenges. So that was my confirmation. Those girls was from Denver and Boston. You know what I'm saying? They was jealous. They was jealous because I could sing and they couldn't. I was getting attention and they wasn't. And so they were just copying me. I was like, ugh, those bitches are annoying, bro. And so somebody here, the people who ran the challenges when I walked up, they saw my attitude. They was like, hey, we gonna stop inviting Denver and Boston. So they let me know different states, whatever like that would come. And we was one of the states we had to travel there on like a sprinter type bus, charter bus, whatever. But it was like at this school. So after I heard them say that, I was like relieved. And then I had another dream. It was taking my uncle Tony, and he told me that he was done. He was done saying stuff. Like he said, he stopped talking. He was like, I'm done talking. I'm done saying anything because he was disappointed. And I was like, what's wrong? And so we went deeper, and he told me he's disappointed in his children and his family for not trusting me, Tiori, and for talking about me behind my back. He showed me that they trust people like Jeans and Verlita and Vivian Blackman's family, the people with the cross eyes and the cockeyes and the businesses who are working together to set our family up. People who were stalking me, doing work on me on December 27th through December 28th. And that was my confirmation. Gene was out here doing work on me. Gene's an Aries man. He a big factor. We'll get into him more. But yeah, he worked with my fake granny that robbed me as tourist, who living under my identity when I was a tourist woman in a past life. And her name's Velita, right? They've been working together with Gene and my Uncle Tony. He said he don't like them. He said I don't like them. I don't like this. He said they're big fat liars. They're thieves and traffickers. And he said it's really sad. So he stopped talking to his family in spirit. They're gonna get confirmation. He said they should be getting confirmation. He said he's tired of hearing his family talk about his family behind their back. He said he wants them to know that he's always listening. So be careful what you say behind closed doors. He tells me that he's proud of me, and he's proud of me that the fact that I solve problems and that I have discernment. And he shows me that the family that's been working with Verlita, they're gonna regret it. Connected to businesses, supporting the business, whatever it is, you're gonna regret it. She will cause you to lose because what and who she's invested to and what her investments are tied to. And he told me that his death was one of them. He shows me that Gene worked with Verlita in these hospitals to get him killed. And Uncle Tony, they first said, he was sick from pneumonia, but he said not, he was healthy. There was nothing wrong with him. He was doing great. They were having Gene come around and do work on him. It was all a setup. And Gene got him originally sick. And he shows me that he was also clean. They try to say that he had HIV or AIDS, right? And he shows me he was never he was never known to be sick. He shows me that he was always healthy. He was never known to have any deadly diseases. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yes, that he was clean. And he didn't have the AIDS or the HIV, whatever they gave him in the hospital, like they gave Easy E. He shows me they did the same thing to Easy E, in that it was Gene that's how he got in the hospital, because Gene did magic on him to make him sick. And he shows me that he remembers me. He wants me to know, I remember you as Shakeen Anibra. I remember you as the original Leah. He wants me to know that he know the Capricorn man that I was named after, Shakeen Anibra, who was friends with my father, Kendrick Lamar. He said, I remember him. He said, I remember connected to our childhood. And he said he was only killed because he started remembering things and getting more enlightened. And, Gene was scared because of what my Uncle Tony knew and what he would say. Very powerful man. He's also somebody who boxed, and he was connected to the boxing gym that we know whatchamacallit was working with. What's his name? Kasha. You like, yes, Kasha was working with out here, as well as the cancer big black buff man that set me up, Reggie Jones up. He was fucking on Reggie Jones's fake white wife and shit. You like, he was connected to all that. They was setting us up, but he wants me to know that he knows and he remembers, and this is why they killed him, because he was starting to have memories and ascension. And he said that his children, it's unfortunate. He said, my children are not the real deal. It's unfortunate. That's why they lack discernment. He said, because they're made out of AI. And I said, all of them? He said, all of them. AJ, Marcus Adoria, they're all AI. They're not made from the phallus, from penis and pussy. He wanted me to know that they was created in the hospitals. And he wanted me to know that he blames Risa for that. His fake baby mama, his ex-wife. No, yes he do. And that's why I was having dreams with Josiah Barsh being inside of a hospital with a hospital where they do cloning and AI, and I had to bring Burner Boy there in the past life. It was a dream with me, Josiah Barsh, Burner Boy. I remember my brother Titi was in it, Uncle Jay-Z, wrote Timmy, Uncle P. Diddy, and this dude as well as the cancer man. He played Biggie. That's right. He played Biggie on the movie Biggie, right? He was the one who played Biggie. He was in the dream too. And a man I used to work with at Climate Pledge, my boss. He was my boss when I was working at Climate Pledge Arena last year. He was the boss I had, okay? We were all in this dream, but what was significant was Josiah Barsh. His dad is today married to Risa, right? Barsh, who was my Uncle Tony's wife before Uncle Tony was killed and by Gene. And it was significant because it was all a plot, it was all a plan, it was all a play. But he shows me that he doesn't blame anybody else but them. He says that his mom and his dad are his real mom and dad. He said they're not a part of this. He said, but she needs to know his mom, Darlena. They need to know Risa. It's her. It's that family. He blames the family, and he said they work with Gene. It's all of them, and he just want me to know he remember. And he's speaking up to me more and more now because he's disappointed. He said, "My children, they don't listen. They're not. They don't get it because they're not real." And I'm gonna prove it to you. And I was like, "Oh shit!" So that was significant. He came to me about that. He was sad. He said, "I'm disappointed," and he stopped talking to the people that were his family. You're like, yeah, because he's finding too much out. He realizing shit. He's heartbroken. After that, I heard, "Keep your mouth shut, or I'm your planeter right now." They said, "Keep your mouth shut, or I'm your planeter right now." And Spirit said, what's significant about that is a planeter. That's a person who kills you by way of needles. Okay, they kill you through needles. That's how they killed Malcolm Tony in the hospital. He shows me Gene said this to Risa. Right? Uncle Tony's wife before he died. At that time, after Uncle Tony had already died, he told Risa to keep her mouth shut or he's going to be her planeter right now. And it was connected to Gene inviting Verlita, my fake granny, to a job at the hospital. It was after Uncle Tony had already died. But Risa, she knew some shit. And she knew Gene. She had a conversation with Gene. Gene told her to keep her mouth shut or he gonna kill her next through needle. You gonna be the one next to die. It was connected to a secret hospital that works with the Brooklyn Hit team, okay? And Verlita got invited to come to the hospital. It was a secret little invitation at this hospital job that they still do together today on the down low. And he threatened to kill Risa if she told anybody about this. So that was what I heard. Then I heard, was Gene alive? Let's go find him. Now this is me. I had said this. This is me and Uncle Tony talking. I had said this in a past life when I was waiting to have a Libra baby girl. I was pregnant with the Libra baby girl. Okay, the Libra baby girl who I was pregnant with when I was a Pisces. She grew up. She didn't die. Okay, she's now today. Whew, spirit. Hold on, I got it. I gotta take my time. This is getting deep. All right. Today, her name would be Lisa Ray. That would be my child today when I was Pisces with Uncle Tony. Me and Uncle Tony were in a relationship when I was a Pisces woman in a past life. And Lisa Ray was our daughter. I've dreamed of Lisa Ray as a little girl. I've dreamed of her as a grown-ass woman. And she didn't die. She was trafficked. She was robbed. But they created another version of her as my little cousin today, Adoria, through AI. They recreated all me and Tony's children, right? When I was Pisces. And this shit kind of hard to say because in this life he was classified as my uncle, right? You like, yeah, but he tells me he already was dreaming of me as young as 9 years old. When I was 9 years old, he had a dream of me that scarred him. It was cringe worthy, you know. You like, yeah, it was a sexual dream of us doing nasty things together, and it was weird that when I was growing up, I wondered why he was so disconnected from me. Like he didn't know how to express love to me. And it wasn't like to hurt me. It was like out of fear. Like he didn't trust me with his feelings because he was dreaming about me and I was a little girl and he didn't want me to get the wrong idea or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't having none of those type of thoughts or dreams or anything. I didn't know. I would have never knew that, you know, but he had them. He was older. I was only 9. He showed me that that's why it was hard for him to be emotionally vulnerable with me because he would have felt guilty because he was dreaming of me in a sexual manner. And he not a pedophile, you know. You're like, nah, but he saw that same little girl, and that to him was like, you know, and he felt connected, and he didn't want to because he's not a pedophile, right? You're like, right, but he shows me that Gene, the Aries man, you're like, yeah, he showed me that Gene, we was trying to get Gene out of here when I was Pisces. He was trafficking our children, AJ, Marcus, and Adoria in a past life, and that the AJ, Marcus, and Adoria that are my cousins today, they're not real. He need me to know that. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. He need me to know. He said, and that's why you have been dreaming of AJ, my cousin, Marcus, AJ, and Adoria being my children in the past because Risa, she helped rob me. She worked with Gene, Berlita, all these people in the past life, they robbed me. They robbed my family. And I remember when I had dreamed of AJ connected to Wiz Khalifa, it was Adoria, Marcus, AJ. It was my little sister and my little brother Gianna and Giante. They was all in the dream, and I had busted in this house where I saw AJ was sleeping in Wiz Khalifa. It wasn't the real Wiz Khalifa, okay, but it was his face and it was his name, Khalifa. But Spirit showed me he was cloned, and what was living inside of his clone was like an animal, like, you know what I'm saying, a pedophile animal. And he was touching on my cousin AJ, who was my son in the past life. Okay, when I was Pisces, and I caught it. I caught him all in the room, and I walked into it flexing, right? And I asked Wiz Khalifa's clone. I said, "What's your name?" He said, "Khalifa." Right? I couldn't make it the fuck up, and Spirit had shown me like that wasn't the real Wiz Khalifa's energy, his soul, but it was a clone, and Gene created that clone. That's what they do. And he put an animal in that motherfucker, a pedophile monster. And what's his name? The Libra African. You like, yeah, the Libra African man, the doctor. Yeah, he was a part of that too. And Spirit showed me that that was at Gene's house where I found him. Gene, he the one with the cock eyes or with the cross eyes. Okay, I told you guys about him before. The only time I remember dreaming of him significantly was when he was a baby, and I was a Gemini woman named Jamila, and he was the son. He wasn't his real son, but I don't know. But he was the son of my past life son Ricky when I was a Capricorn. Me and DDG's past life son Ricky when I was a Capricorn. Ricky a Taurus. I told Ricky about this dream, and Ricky was like, "Man, that baby look just like me. Woot, woot, woot. Look, look." I was like, "That baby do not look like you. That baby do not look like you. That's not your baby." You feel me, nigga? The cross eyes, nigga, you would have had him too, nigga. And he laughed, but he was like, "I'm gonna take care of this baby, like, nigga, Taurus, shut up." So we let it go. But that was significant when I was Jamila. I was younger. I was like maybe 15, 14. I was the hit woman, but I remember he was raising Gene. Ricky was me and DDG's past life son when I was a Capricorn in the past life, being raised by Rodney, okay, my cousin. And I found out that yeah, Gene was trafficking my children, and I wanted Gene dead. So did Tony. And when I was Pisces, me and Tony, he shows me like we would do some work. We would do magic on, yeah, like real magic. You like, yeah, real time, real time. We would do magic. We was those type in a past life when I was Pisces. We would do magic on this man to fuck up his like Gene and a few other ones. You like, yeah, there's a few other ones. There was a Virgo woman. The Virgo woman I know is Astro Queen. Shantae Long, I know that that was her mom in this life today, and she was abusing me last year and before she died. Sometime recently, she was abusing me though for sure last year, doing work on me, fucking with my work and shit online, my everything. It was all a part of it, and in the past life when I was a Pisces, we was doing magic on them, me and Tony, because they wouldn't stop abusing us. And, you know, we didn't understand what that was. But I found out Shantae, Astro Queen's mom that was raising her, the Virgo, she's blood relatives with Jean, and that her and Jean are cousins. And I said, no fucking way. Spirit said, that's right. That's why you was dreaming of Astro Queen and all that so much. When I was connected to Jamila, everything's connected. But I know Astro Queen was my daughter as Jamila. That's significant. I know that Virgo bitch set me up. She robbed me. My children working with Jean because it's the family. You like, yeah, they the cousins of each other and all type of shit. I find out Jamal is Jean's brother, right? They all family. You like, yeah, yep, Jamal connected to Shauna Payard and Brandon Irvin and Joe, all of them. That's the family. So they was fucking up my life. And I said, that's so significant because they robbed us, they trafficked our people, they did abusing us and falsifying identities and all type of shit, cloning AI and all type of shit, changing history. You feel me? So, and then when I talk about it, they want to get mad because it brings bad memories of what they've done to our people. So after that, it transition. I heard me ask AJ, my cousin, he was my son in the past life, but his name wasn't AJ when I was Pisces. I asked him, okay, what the fuck is going on, Luke? When I had caught, that was taking to me catching Khalifa, you like, yeah. I don't even want to say Wiz Khalifa because it's a different energy. It's not really Wiz, but Khalifa, the clone version that was body snatched and that was a pedophile inside, right? I was asking him. AJ's name was Luke. Somebody with confirmation. A motherfucker been playing Luke, my nigga AJ, and his name was Luke. He was my son, and I said Luke was AJ's original name. Me and Tony named him Luke when I was Pisces. He was our firstborn, and I was asking what the fuck was going on because he was mad at Jean. He didn't trust Jean. Jean was trafficking him, and this is when I caught Luke, also known as AJ, and the other kids at Jean's house being trafficked. Okay, and I caught him getting touched on. Okay, you like, yeah. After that, I heard Spirit say it was Carol, and I heard Spirit say she was being stopped for rejecting me for my future. Okay, now Carol, Spirit shows me that that's DDG's mom's name, and that Gene, you like, yeah, Gene is DDG's biological father, and that this is a secret. In the dream with me and DDG's past life son Ricky, as the tourist when he was raising Gene as the baby, you know what I'm saying? That was my confirmation. Gene's baby, Ricky's baby mama set him up in that life when I was Jamila, the Gemini. Okay, you're like, yes, because how is Gene being raised by me and DDG's past life son, and all of a sudden now DDG is the son of Gene? You're like, no fucking way. But Carol, DDG mama, she got everything to do with it. She's significant. Gene's significant. She was hiding the fact that Gene is DDG's original father to fucking day. You're like, no way. On my soul. And Spirit showed me that that's why in the dream as well, it wasn't just me and Ricky and Jean as the newborn baby in the dream when I was Jamila, the Gemini. There was also little Nan that was in that dream. Little Nan, she's a little girl who was being raised by Thomas Suit, a little Sagittarius girl that was being raised by Thomas Suit. She wanted to be so fucking grown, right? And she's the original girl in this life that had a baby with Thomas Suit, her pedophile fake father, trafficking father, and they sold their baby Halo to Hallie and Eli, yeah, and DDG. They've been tracking DDG down, still trying to set up his life, fuck up his life. They used Hallie to do it, but that was all connected to Thomas Suit because Thomas Suit was around when I was Jamila as well as little man there when Ricky, my past life son with DDG, was raising Gene. That's very significant. You like, yeah. Ricky was living with Lil Nana and Thomas Sue and Gene and other people. You're like, no fucking way. Yes, that's how it's all connected. And these people are all working together. So Gene, he is that same little motherfucker with the cross eyes. And he was also the same man that was trying to raise Kendrick Lamar in this life today, or trying to, you know, co-inhabit with Kendrick Lamar in this life today. He's Vivian Blackman's family. I know that for sure. And they're all a part of it. Okay? They set us up. It's significant. And the dream transition. Now it's like, okay, now we're getting into this dream connected to the man who raised me, James Watson Jr. He was in this dream. There's another dream. And then also my brother Tijani was in this dream. My sister Naya was in this dream. Okay, you're like, yeah. Tony was in this dream. Tony, who they say is my uncle today, and Shioli was in this dream. The Asian Shioli from the show Invasion. Okay, the Asian from the show Invasion. I love Shioli. She was my best friend. That was my confirmation when I had seen Shioli as a little baby. Me and her grew up together. Spirit said it was when I was a Scorpio in the past life. She was my friend. And I was around her as she was a little girl. She couldn't have been no greater than 4 or 5 years old. But I was her friend. We was kicking. We were kids. And we were around each other. And Spirit showed me, it was different in that life when I was Scorpio. Because James, who they say is my father today, you know, the man who's been raising me, he wasn't a man. In that dream, he was a woman, and he was my auntie. I gotta tell you like this because that's how Spirit showed it to me, because it could be confusing if you don't break it down. You just think these people, it's the same people. No, this is past life information, so I have to say it like this so people can know identities were robbed, sexes were changed. You're like, yes, people were killed without knowing they died. People were cloned. People were AI. You know, you're like, yes, so you have to know this is why I'm saying it like this. James, who they say is my father, he was my auntie in that dream. Okay. Tijani, who they say is my brother, Titi, he was my father in that dream. Okay. Naya, who they saying is my oldest sister, she was my daughter. And Tony was my lover, also my baby dad. And it was when I was a Scorpio. Keep that in mind. It wasn't when I was Pisces. You're like, no, it was when I was Scorpio. And Shioli was my best friend, and she was staying with me at this time, and we was all staying together. But Tony had left for a little bit. You like, yeah, he did. He was staying on 5th Street. He told me he had left for a little bit because he was intimidated by my gift. Okay, you're like, yes, as a high priestess, when I was Scorpio, you're like, yeah, he was intimidated at the fact that I knew so much. And it was his pride. He felt like he wasn't adequate. Like it was just you getting the messages. Why ain't I seeing it? It wasn't out of jealousy. It was just out of intimidation and pride. He felt like, you know, he wasn't adequate. It made him feel like he wasn't protective enough. It just insecurities, you know. You like, yeah, it wasn't nothing about our relationship. It was just his own insecurities from not having that gift. Okay, when I was Scorpio, and I was staying at this house with all of them, though they were all there. And I remember I said I had a baby. The baby was an Aries girl, and I asked Spirit. I got confirmation. Spirit said that's Naya today. You know that's Naya. It was an Aries girl. She was still in diapers. She called me mommy. Okay, I was at home with her and Shioli, and Shioli was scared because Shioli was being haunted by this man. He a man of color. She would know him today. He's chocolate. Okay, he got these big dimples on the side of his cheeks. He's skinny though, but he's tall, okay? And he had those little slit lines in his eyebrows that, you know, like men and women be liking to get studs. Y'all like to get the little, you like, yeah, we like the little slash in our eyebrow. You stupid stud. You stupid stud. They got the little slash in their eyebrows. So he had those slashes on the side of his eyebrows. That was significant. He had pretty teeth. He was skinny, okay? And he recorded a video for Shioli to watch, and she couldn't watch it. It made her cringe, you know. She was afraid when she saw this man, and she knew this man was a thief in that lifetime. She don't know this today, but in that lifetime she knew he was a thief. But she got scared when I tried to show her this video. I said, this man, he sent you this video because she was staying with me. I was like, he wants you to watch it. And I was watching it, and it was cringe worthy. You know, you could tell this nigga is delusional. But Shioli was like, no, turn it off. And I turned it off. I said, fuck, she ain't gonna watch it. She ran away and went to another part of the house. And so I said, fuck, I got a diaper for the Aries, Naya, who was my daughter at the time. I got a diaper for her because she needed her diaper changed. And I had noticed when I was grabbing the diaper before I was getting ready to change her, I had noticed that people were digging up our trash. They was digging up shit out of the trash, dirty diapers out of the trash, nigga, all type of shit. And Spirit showed me that they was doing something to that whole diaper company that I had my baby's diapers in. You like, yeah, that company, whatever the diaper company was, they was sabotaging that whole company because of me buying those diapers, all because I bought those diapers. Gene and all these motherfuckers, they started to dig up the diapers, just like when I used to wear pads. Okay, like I used to wear pads for my period. It's kind of a lot of information, TMI. But back in 2024, last year, I was wearing pads, and I had to buy, instead of buying pads, now I buy those like silicone plunges, because I saw the niggas I was staying with, the house I was staying at last year, they was digging up my pads, leaving them in front of my door. They wanted to know what type of pads I was buying. They wanted to sabotage the pad company, just like they was trying to sabotage this diaper company. They was digging up the people who I was living with. You like, yeah, digging out my pads just to put them all around the fucking house, nigga. I can't make it up. Bloody dirty pads in front of my door, and it was little kids doing it, grown ass bitches, but it was Asians and white people. That was significant. And some got to do with Shioli. And they wanted to fuck up my baby's private area. I was living with all these people who's in my family, and I know that the man who was raising me, but he was my auntie, James, he was my auntie at the time. He was siblings with Tijani, who's my brother today, right? You like, yeah, they wasn't father and son. They were brother and sister. And in this life, when I was Scorpio, and Spirit showed me that um he let me use his car. My auntie, as James, you like, yeah, he let me use his car. He gave me the keys to his car because he wasn't gonna be home. Him and Titi had left, and Titi was driving. So he was like, "Just in case you need to go somewhere, here you can use my car." I didn't have a car at the time. He gave me the keys to his car, and all of them left besides me, Shioli, and my sister, which was my baby, right, Naya. And so I had called Tony. He was my baby dad at the time. I had called Tony because he wasn't staying with us. He was tripping, acting weird because he was, intimidated. And I was like, "Where you at?" He said, "I'll be right back. I left to Fifth Street." That's what he told me. I left to Fifth Street. He was staying on Fifth Street. He knew some people over there on Fifth Street. The house we were staying at, that's gratitude, Papa. It looked like the house that the woman who raised me would own today. That's the best description. It looked like the house that the woman who raised me would own today. I also seen a mock-up of it connected to Columbia. So I don't know if we were in Columbia, if we were in Washington, but it was that same house mock-up, okay? We were staying there. And it just looked a little different, but it was that house. You're like, a similar design. And so, yeah, I remember after that, I had called TT. After I called Tony, me and Tony talked. He was like, "Yeah, I'll be back," or whatever. I called TT. And I asked TT, because he was my father, but I asked TT, like, "Where you guys at? Where you guys at?" He was like, because Shioli was scared. I was getting messages, and I see people digging up the trash, and it was just a lot going on. And they was like, "We'll be on our way back. We're on our way back now. We're on our way back." And I looked at the clock, and I saw that. I said, "Okay," and I saw that it was 12 on the clock. And when I looked outside, the sun was still out. So I was like, "Oh, it's 12 p.m. It's still daytime." You like, yeah. So that was the dream. But oh no, that wasn't all of it. After that, DDG had contacted me, and he had been like texting me or something. And he wasn't doing so well, It was like me and him were friends at this time. We were connected though. And I was trying to figure out, he wasn't trying to tell me all the shit that he was thinking, but I could tell something was wrong with him. It was the way he was communicating. He was acting vain, you like, yeah, he wasn't really saying too much, and I wasn't like him. He was my friend. And so I was like, let me go deeper on this nigga, since we're waiting on people to get back now. She only scared, whatever. I just changed the baby. I was like, let me do a reading on DDG and see if he's okay, because he wasn't being open with me like he usually was. I knew that. And I was like, man, is DDG okay, Spirit? And Spirit they showed me that his sister, TT, you like, yeah, TT, that she was acting weird. He was having bad dreams with TT. And they showed me that she asked DDG to have sex with her, and he couldn't believe it. That was why he was acting weird, because his sister was acting weird. And I saw that in the reading, he rejected her energy because he wasn't interested, because that was supposed to be his family. You know, it was nasty. And so Spirit said, Spirit said, just let him get time, give him time, because he's kind of grossed out right now. He just feel weird. He can't just tell you all that right now. So I let it go. I didn't text him back or like, you know, pressure him. But yeah, I was like, what's significant about all that? And Spirit said she only would know that man who was stalking her today from some sort of movies or films that she's done. It's like some sort of work she's done. She's worked with him in the past. She knows this man by name. The chocolate man with the dimples, you like, yeah, he's significant. She only know him today. And she wouldn't know that he's a liar and a children trafficker. She wouldn't remember. But he is. And that in the past life, she didn't trust him around my family, around my children, my baby, none of that. She was scared of him. Spirit shows me that. And I was a Scorpio woman. She only was an Aquarius woman. And Tony was a Capricorn. That was significant. And I was connected to the Cantons. I mean, I was connected to Bixen. I was connected to Drake, Chingy, the nigga Lit from Shameless when I was Scorpio. I was connected to Kendrick. You like all these people when I was Scorpio. I remember I had dreams of my cousin Taylor. My cousin, her name Taylor. And I had dreams of her when I was a Scorpio in the past, but her name wasn't Taylor. It was Brianna in that lifetime. I also remember my cousin Symphony was in that dream. And Symphony was raising a baby named Sizzy. The baby's name was Sizzy. That's significant. And I remember that we had all eventually died connected to an unnatural disaster. It was water that killed us. And Spirit showed me that Gene, DDG's biological father, he knows my family from Washington. He worked with them. You know, the ones that's setting me up. Be like, yeah. And that my family today, like the people who trust me, they can't trust Gene. They know that he's a part of the problem. They show me that their guards are up against him because he was doing things like rejecting the truth, you know, like trying to deny shit. You know, you like, yeah, he a part of it. But yeah, they need to know he's dead because he was doing magic on me at the Safeway on December 27th through the 28th outside of the house I'm staying at. You're like, yeah, stalking my home because he knew the family didn't trust him and that we were finding more information out because he was rejecting the truth because he was a part of the lie. So after that, I had got him caught up. You're like, yeah, I got him on camera right before his death. And I saw somebody, the hitman, you know, I saw them follow him when he got shown on camera. He was trying to leave the Safeway, and I flashed my camera from my window. It was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Like it was like late, 4 in the morning type shit. He was out there doing magic while I was trying to sleep. And I flashed my camera on him to let him know I see him, we see him. And he got followed by the hitman, and I saw him flying back and forth down the street, trying to run from the hitman. The hitman! Cause the Pisces, no Libra. So they had funny as hell popping. And I saw this nigga going back. If I saw his little ram, his little truck. He had a little ram truck. It looked like the truck. It looked like the truck that tourist man was driving. That was connected to Miles Teller, who was stalking me at my house. But yeah, it was like an all dark gray chrome looking truck, and it was like a Ram or a GMC, and he was running. He was back and forth, driving that motherfucker up and down the street, getting followed by the hitman. He was trying to go back home, one of the little houses they be living at out here. You like, and Spirit showed me he ain't make it. That nigga died, and that nigga's gone, and they were looking for him, and they sent more people out to look for him. There's a man named Jacob that was out here looking for him, connected to December 29th, earlier yesterday morning. You like, yeah, he was out there looking for him too. They was all out here, and I had to tell him, nigga, I was telling everybody like, it's Jeans, people in the red and burgundy car. That's Jacob. I was hollering the nigga from the windows to the walls, nigga, on my show. I had my little speaker with the microphone on it. I had my camera on flash. I went in. Oh, he was like, yeah, I show you. Hold on, you can hear it. This bitch was loud as hell. And I'm gonna keep going. Something here funny as fuck. You like, no fucking way. I would never lie to you. Can't stand it. It was for an hour I was recording. Okay, so this is what I should do. I never think shit's funny. No? Watch this.
Nigga in the red car with the lights on, my nigga. Hey, nigga stalking me in that fucking red burgundy car with your fucking lights on, my nigga. Looking for Gene, working with Gene, nigga, what's good? I want you to know I see you, nigga. You're on camera, nigga. Parked outside, nigga, in that burgundy red car with your fucking lights on, trying to stop me, trying to set me up, trying to get me killed in this bitch. You got me fucked up, nigga, on my soul. I want you to know I see you, bitch. On my soul. Nigga, I ain't the only one. On my soul. You niggas got me fucked up, trying to stalk my house, keep you away from everything I want you to know, nigga. You on camera. On my soul, and I see you. You looking for Chief? Nigga, he's dead, nigga. On my soul, and you're not too far from that. You think you can play with this bitch? I want you to know I see you, nigga. I see you. And let me find your neck. On my soul. Nigga, my whole family see you, nigga. It's not sweet, bitch. Shit ain't sweet, bitch. You don't get the confirmation, nigga. Somebody right there watching you. I'm watching you. I'm not watching you, bitch. Your best bet is to get the fuck out of here, nigga. On my soul. Leave me the fuck alone. This bitch don't bother nobody. You keep fucking with me, though, and you think I ain't gonna get rowdy in this bitch. You think I ain't gonna get rowdy in this bitch, right? No, right? Okay. So niggas is looking for G. The nigga we just got out of here. G. Right? Okay, somebody get it. It's not funny no more, nigga. You don't got right to be up here being mad, nigga. You don't got right to be on my street being mad, nigga. Cutting the fuck up at the Safeway, nigga. The red burgundy car with the lights on, nigga. Been sitting out there for over 30 minutes like I ain't been watching you. It's crazy. Okay. It's crazy to me.
So yeah, it's more. You like, oh my god, this bitch was flexing. I'm talking about the whole block heard this bitch, nigga. I put my speaker outside, nigga, my microphone on my mouth, nigga. Hey, nigga, on my soul, nigga. Everybody heard this bitch, nigga. So Spirit showed me they started getting caught telling on themselves. You like, no way. That's why I said Brooklyn hit scene. Y'all might want to stop because yo people in jail. Jacob went to jail. He's brothers with Jamal and Gene. You're like, oh, he's family, yeah, cousins or brothers or I know. Right, he in jail. He telling on the team, the house where they've been staying, all these people, the hospital, the everything, the conscious. He's telling on everything, baby. It's embarrassing. No, that's why I said. So they telling because they in jail. They got caught. Gene died. These niggas got caught when I made that announcement. You understand? It was in real time. Something here is like papa. All right. After that, you stupid Spirit. I gotta show you these. Now we're on December 28th. I gotta show you guys these audios. Okay, I gotta play these audios for you. So after that, I'm trying to go get some rest. Right now, it's December 28th. Right, you like, yeah. Mind you, that video I just showed you, or that voice memo I just showed you, it's a video, but you guys couldn't see it. But that shit is something that happened on December 29th. Okay, you're like, yeah, early in the morning. So that was after all this shit. You're like, yeah, I just wanted to show you as confirmation what these niggas was doing. But no, that was just recently on December 29th at like 5 in the morning. You're like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. It's backfiring. Spirit showed me they snitched on themselves. They're caught. She knows our names. You dumb fuck. She knows us. Oh my gosh. All right. So December 28th, I was trying to get some rest, and I had saw Albert Einstein popped up. I saw Martin Luther King pop up, and Nefertiti. That was very significant. Those three people, their faces came to me, and they started talking, right? And they wanted me to know that they got some shit to remind me of that happened in the past. It's almost like they were alive for it, you know? Like they remember something here is like, we were there for that. We remember your past. But what's craziest is that that's my confirmation. They started sober, and that we've been being lied to about time, history, dates. You're like, yes, yeah, because if Albert Einstein's coming to me, Martin Luther King, Nefertiti, you're like, see something here, baby. They have memories of my past. That's right. As Pisces, They remember Pisces. It's very significant. Not just Pisces. They remember me connected to when I was also heavy Pisces though. That's I know that's old information. Nah, I can't remember. They remember me though as Pisces and another sign, but they wanted me to know some shit, okay? And so they told me that they gotta just remind me of things I experienced. So we're gonna play the audio because they were trying to send me messages of my past as Pisces. It was connected to Gene though and Jamal and all them. These are old souls, so you know I'm not bullshit. I'm gonna play it, and when I'm done playing it, I'm gonna explain it. You like, okay? All right, let's get into it. It must be blood pressure. You have to wait. So he went in another direction and he got taken, okay? The hospitals. Head over here together. Head over here together. Report a court case. I need to shut your mouth all them times. I need to shut your mouth all them times. The roof, the roof, the roof is on fire. He ain't gonna do nothing to you. Nope, he won't. He won't. It was Kobe's magazine picture. Let's not move it. Now you remember, Pisces. It was Kobe's magazine picture. Let's not move it. What? He was trying to hide it, but I think that boy is gone. So controlled. All these robot people. So controlled. All these robot people. Greg Patterson. Greg Patterson was terminated. I don't think he's canceled anymore. Greg Patterson was terminated. I don't think he's canceled anymore. All right. So let's just explain what that was. When you heard it must be blood pressure, that was me talking to that was me talking to a senator of the US government. He's also a investigator. And at this time I was working with the government as a Pisces, okay? I was working a part of the US government as a judge, and I had to work with the senators. And I was running trying to find Gene, and I had high blood pressure because I was running from Gene and I was running to find Gene, but I needed help. So he was telling me it must be your blood pressure. That was the senator talking. All right. I'll explain to you what he looks like in a bit. But he was working with me as Pisces. All right, trying to get Gene out of here. But I was running from Gene and I was running towards Gene. Right. I had to wait though. When you heard him say you have to wait, that was a senator. He was talking about how I had to wait to communicate with him about Gene, and go with him. Don't go by yourself, because we were taking a trip to that hospital. So when you heard, so he went in another direction and he got taken. Okay, that was me talking. I was saying this to the senator about Gene taking a baby boy, a Scorpio baby boy, who I found out is Drake today. That's who we're talking about. Okay, Drake was robbed in a past life when I was a Pisces. I was older than him. He was a newborn baby. Okay, that's significant. And I was trying to tell the senator, like, that's where he went. He went in another direction. And I was telling him that the Scorpio baby boy had gotten taken by Gene and Jamal. And then when you heard the hospitals, okay, that was a part of Drake's robbery as a baby. We were talking about the hospital that was robbing kids, and the main one that was significant at that time was Drake. That was the baby boy that was significant because how things backfired with Drake's robbery when I was Pisces. And when you heard head over there, head over here together, head over here together, head over here together. We were talking about going to the hospital connected to Gene and Jamal. These niggas were siblings. That's significant. And then you hear report a court case. That's me talking to the senator after we found the hospital that Gene and Jamal were working at, and we caught them talking there. Okay, they were communicating. They were working. They were doing some shit. It was at night, and they were in there working, and we was able to catch them in the act of them talking, and you know what I'm saying. You like, yeah, just working and doing shit on the under the radar behind the scenes. And so we caught them in real time, and I told the senator to report a court case, right? And then that's when Gene said, I need to shut your mouth all them times, because we caught them. That was Gene talking in real time, like of us catching these niggas up. It was him and Jamal. And I said, Gene was saying this to me and the senator because of me and the senator, the investigator. We had too much information on him. We had caught them together, like in the physical. This is a physical altercation. And Jamal had ran. Okay, Jamal ran to the top of the hospital building, and he set it on fire. And then Gene said, the roof is on fire, right? He said this because that was Jamal running off and setting the hospital on fire, while me and the senator were trying to talk to Gene, asking questions, going deeper. We had too much information already. You know what I'm saying? I'm a high priestess and I'm a judge, so it was like I got too much on you, and they was getting mad, so they had to set the hospital on fire. They set the roof on fire. They had Jamal go up there and do it. He snuck up there because he was scared. He went to go do that, and we was catching him in real time. When you heard him say, nope, he won't. We were saying how Gene won't go to jail. I was telling the senator, like, nah, he ain't gonna go to jail. He won't go to jail because they did everything to run from this by setting the hospital on fire and running. I was like, man, they ain't about to go to jail today, nigga. They just set this bitch on fire, nigga. We can't just arrest him. And right, so it was backfiring, and we came during non-business hours. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah. So I was telling the senator, like, nah, he won't. He not gonna go to jail. And you heard the senator. He said, now you remember, Pisces, it was Kobe's magazine picture. Let's not move it. That was significant, right? We mentioned Kobe's magazine picture because it was hanging on the hospital wall. It was there as like a keepsake. We needed to keep that in mind as a reminder that this was in fact the hospital and location that did the human trafficking, the cloning, AI, and sex change, and working with Brooklyn, the hit team, and Gene, right? No, and Jamal, and okay, I get it. Okay, and so we had connected that we had to keep that in mind. This hospital would still today have that magazine picture up of Kobe. That's significant. They always do. It's a keepsake for them, and it's a reminder for us of what hospital this is, right? And so we knew. We said just keep that, don't move that picture, that magazine picture of Kobe, because that's our reminder and our confirmation that this is the hospital. They take it with them everywhere. It's a keepsake for them. You know what I'm saying? To make them feel more powerful, to make them feel like they can do anything, right? When you heard he was trying to hide it, but I think that boy's gone. That was me talking to the senator about how Gene, he was trying to hide the information and all this shit. They were trying to burn shit up, hide shit, because we knew Drake was gone already, sold and missing. I couldn't find the little Scorpio baby boy that was Poppy, right? And it was like, fuck. And so when you heard so controlled, all these robot people, that was me saying again, that was me talking. I was saying that Jamal and Gene, they're so controlled. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make the AI and shit. That was my confirmation. And I was mad that they ran off and hid, then set the hospital on fire. Like, I was pissed. Took the papers and shit. Took shit. Because, you know, when it's on fire, it's on fire. I know Jamal's connected to demolition or like explosives and things like nitros, and you're like, yeah, dynamites and shit like that. Like he do that. He could do that professionally. A lot of people that can, but I know Jamal could do that because he set that hospital on fire from the roof on down. And so we had to leave. After that, when we had to leave, I told the senator, I said, Greg Patterson was terminated. I don't think he's canceled anymore. When I was telling him that, it was because Greg Patterson, he was terminated from jail because I was finding too much information out as the judge. The jails illegally released him. There was another judge who was against me because we're doing Jamal, but the judge, somebody here illegally released him against my orders, against right orders. And it was in the past life when I was Pisces, they were mad because I was going deeper and solving problems on my own, like without their help, because I knew they was a part of it. So they needed bad people released from jail to help keep the problems going. And so the government went against me, and they did it for money. They went against me. They went against the truth for money. I couldn't trust the government. That's why I quit working with them. You're like, yes, that was when I found out they can't be trusted. Me and the senator, we realized like they're a part of it. Okay, like they helping keep this shit going. You're like, yeah, it was very sad. So that's what that was. After that, dream transit, like we're going on to another dream. So that was all that was connected to that. Now I'm talking to DDG. We're kids. Me and DDG are kids, but we old enough to be in school. He was talking to me about how he went to a Kicks concert today. He was like, I went to a Kicks concert today. And I said, Kicks concert? The fuck Kicks? Yeah. He was talking about he went to a Kicks concert. And I didn't know who Kicks was, but DDG did. But his name wasn't DDG. All of a sudden, I see Carol come out, his mom. That's her name. You're like, it would have to be. Spirit's not crazy. We're not crazy. And I see Carol come out, and she calls DDG Jonathan. She says, Jonathan, what's going on out here? And DDG said, nothing. She was like, nothing. And Spirit showed me that was your confirmation. In the past life, Jonathan was DDG's name, connected to Carol being his mother and Gene being his father. And Carol, she was always fucking up our relationship, fucking up our connection. We was out there talking, being nasty. Carol was asking him what was going on because she didn't like us being together. She didn't like me and DG being around each other. They never had liked me, and I didn't realize that it was just faking the funk. But the senator, you're like, yeah, the man, he's still alive today, and he would look like he would be tan, kind of like the dude from the Pirates of the Caribbean. You're like, yeah, the main character. I don't know his name, but whoever the main character is from Pirates of the Caribbean, he would look like that color, similar to that man too. He would have that tannish color skin. He don't look white. He looked like he got color to him, like he's from another area. And he would like to wear like square hats that kind of look like religious hats. They're not church hats. They look almost like pirate hats, religious hats, but not really. I can't explain it. Like maybe like a Catholic hat. You're like, okay, yeah, the hats the Catholics wear, more high up, but not like Abraham Lincoln high, more down, but like, yeah, a Catholic. And he had black hair that would come down like the man off of Pirates of the Caribbean. You're like, yeah, oh wait, Johnny Depp. He looked like Johnny Depp. That's his name, Johnny Depp. He had a thick black mustache like Johnny Depp. He had that black hair. It went down to like where his ears stopped. You're like, yeah, it was straight on the sides of his head, and he would wear these hats. And yeah, I invited him in the past life to help me go deeper on Gene because I trusted him. He knew that Gene wasn't to be trusted, and I needed his help because I wasn't up there. I was a judge. He was a senator. You're like, yeah. But Spirit said he's still alive today, and he can prove that I'm not bullshit. That they did kill me, and that they set me up and robbed me, and that something here's not right. The timelines, you're like, something here's not right. Something here's not right. It's not. And Spirit just want me to know that he's still alive and that Gene is dead, okay? The senator, if you're watching, you're like, yeah, Gene died, senator. If you see this, okay, you're like, yeah. All right, after that, I heard Meth Collins can't cook. And that was me. I was talking shit about a man named Meth Collins, who's an Asian man. Spirit showed me he shiced his father today. You're like, that's your dad name, the cancer, something like that. You like, yeah, oh my gosh, quit the cancer, side you. And he was trying to make shit. I don't know if it was meth, nigga, but he can't cook shiest. He was your father. He's your father today. But what's significant about Meth Collins is that he be talking about shiest behind his back to other Asians. And they be stalking shiest and talking shit and doing too much. You like, your Spirit says you need to stop, sir. Okay, Meth Collins? This is getting out of hand. You're gonna sabotage shiest. All his hard work, all his sacrifices, all because you can't help but to gossip with people behind his back. And Spirit say, Meth Collins, if you can't say it to his face, don't talk about him behind his back. Okay? Thank you. Next step, after that, I saw DDG again. And this time, DDG, when he was walking towards me, he was coming in a line. Like it was like we were kids though, like a line, like the school line. But he was just coming in this line that I was already in. And he had a muzzle on his fucking mouth. The dogs, you're like, yeah. They put somebody here, especially it was Gene and Carol. They put a muzzle on DDG's mouth so he wouldn't talk. They didn't want him to talk to me. They wanted him to keep quiet. And this goes to show how abusive they were together. Gene and Carol, you're like, yeah, oh my gosh. But I heard a Libran walking up my line. I heard somebody say a Libran walking up my line. And I saw DDG. He had a muzzle on his face like a dog. That's how they treated him. He talked too much. And he talked to me too much. They didn't like that. So, yeah, that's my confirmation. They were raising him and abusing him. And then I heard Gene, he said, me can be my instrument. That's my confirmation. They're connected to Africans or something. Me can be my instrument. That's how Gene talks. He talked like that. So I said, yeah, it's given African, but I'm so glad he died after leaving my house when he was doing the magic. I'm so glad that, oh my gosh, the Hitman was there and that the Hitman followed him. And I'm so glad for all of you who pay to cover me and protect me while I'm out here going through these hard times. Thank you so much. You're like, yeah. Put the cast by Scorpio, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Libra, Gemini. I'm just so grateful for you. You're like, yeah, bitch, we're here. All right. Oh yeah. Okay. So after that, I saw a police badge. There was officers. They were wearing these badges, and on the badge, like where it would say what government they're in or what like station they're part of, what county, it didn't say that. It said tariff, cake, cold. Okay? Tariff, cake, cold. Like tariffs, like Trump, you have connected to the shipping. You're like, yeah, tariffs. Yeah, Trump, tariff. Underneath tariff, it said cake, like what people eat on their birthday. Underneath cake, it said cold, like the weather, hot, cold. You're like, yeah, okay. It was on the police badge. And Spirit showed me it's the name of the secret society with the government workers. They dress like these cops. and they work with Gene. They send out invitations to parties to traffic people, trap people, especially children. It's a trafficking team. It's a trafficking invitation that they send out through a governmental secret society. And that's how Tasha was able to invite my trafficking mom through her little airport job with Alaska Airlines through this team, Tariff Cake Code. You're like, yeah. That's how she was able to do it, was through that. You're like, yeah. It's that team. They work with the government, but they're dressed like police officers. It's very significant in their secret society. Okay. After that, I saw Haley Bailey or Halle, yeah, Halle Bailey. Okay, the one that raising little Halo. She helping traffic that baby. Little Halo, you like playing the DDG? Yeah, she's trafficking Thomas Sue and little Nana, the Sagittarius daughter's baby. Oh my gosh, the pedophile's baby. Well, yeah, getting paid. They all do this. She was hella scared. And when I saw her in the dream, she was scared, more scared than she's ever been. And I said, why does she look like that? So scared. And Spirit said, because she's gonna get confirmation that it's time for her to be judged. It's time for her to face karma, and she's scared of being judged or facing karma for being a human trafficker. She's so embarrassed. She's so afraid because she lied about Halo being her child, and that is really little Nana, that little girl, her child with Thomas Sue. And it's so sad. She's been a part of it, and they had to threaten DDG's life just to make him be a part of it. You're like, yeah, Jean a part of it too, Carol, okay. No, the little auntie, the Latoya, no, everybody a part of it. It's okay. She just know it's her time, right? So this is good. You're like, yeah, no. Right. So after that, now we're on December 29th. So that was all of December 28th. Okay. I'm almost done. All right. So now we're on December 29th. And December 29th, I had a dream of the girl from Shameless. I don't know her name, but she played Fiona. Okay. She was the sister on Shameless, the TV show. You're like, yeah, Fiona Gallagher. And in this dream, she was picking up a puppy, happy as hell. The little puppy, it was like golden, light, tan, brown. It was cute. And she was trying to hold it with both her hands and have it in front of her face. So happy. Her hair was blonde. Excuse me. It was all blonde. Her hair. You're like, yeah. And she was holding the puppy up. And she was like, oh my God. So happy. The puppy licking her and shit. But Spirit said that she's the one who has Billy Boy. The dog. You're like, yeah. Who needs to go to Maximus? That's my confirmation. It's her, Fiona Gallagher. She's been raising Billy Boy. And Spirit says she's stressed out, bro. Like, she needs to stop acting like she ain't stressed out. She needs to stop acting like she happy. Spirit said they know that you're forcing it, Fiona. And at this point, it's too much for you. It's a bad time for you to have him. Billy Boy is too much work for her at this time. And Spirit wants her and Billy Boy to be happy. So Spirit said her best bet is to give him the Maximus, or she's going to regret it. You're like, So that's why Maximus was significant in Billy Boy, because Fiona, I don't know her real name, but Fiona Gallagher from Shameless, the show, she's the one who has him right now. And Billy Boy's not happy, and she's not either. It's going to be hard to let him go. I saw, she was trying to force it. Oh my God. She can't do it. It's just not the right time. They feel like you're forcing it, and it's a bad time. It's going to be like one of her biggest regrets if she don't let that dog go. You like, yeah. She wanted confirmation. All right, after that, okay, this shit was funny as fuck. The next okay, this next dream was funny as fuck. Okay, it was Red. It was connected to Red. Toya, her husband, Lil Wayne's ex-wife. You like Toya, the Carter? You're like, yeah. And her husband, Red. We talked about Red before, connected to his location. We've told him that, like, Spirit wanted him to know that people in his city, his community, they don't like him. They don't like that he be trying to protect people, or he be trying to, like, help people do the right thing, or I don't know. Like, he makes a difference, though, in the community. They don't think nothing's wrong with Red. They just wanted Red to move. I remember they said they wanted him to leave that community, like him and his family, like you, Toya, wherever, y'all family, the kids, I don't know, but they wanted him to leave because he didn't realize, like, how many enemies he had. He thought people who fucked with him, and they didn't. They were his fake friends or something, fake coworkers. They were just fake, and he think that today he would still think people was cool or something, but like, nah, something is set up. You like, yeah, and so he I'm gonna just play the video. Or the audio. Let's play it. This shit's funny as fuck. This is a dream though with Red. Okay, you're like, yeah, but he was. Let's just play the audio.
He said, "You think it's funny, nigga? Nigga, I ain't playing. I want to kill you." Oh my god. It was Red, Toya's husband. He was sitting on a couch. It was like a youth couch. It was like all these kids, like 4, 5, 6 kids, nigga. Light skinned chocolate. He had children. I never seen it in my life. It was Toya's husband. He was talking about Meek Mill. I knew that because in the dream I said it. I was telling the nigga I was laying with, I'm not gonna say his name. I was telling this nigga I was showing him this girl I was laying with the video and a child I was laying with. We wasn't supposed to be sleeping in this location. We were sleeping in like a business, a location where you buy clothes, but we could stay there for the night. I don't know, and we did, but we knew it was a business. It was like the basement of a business or something. It was like the business where you feel me? You're like, people, they buy clothes there though. You like, yeah, hold it. Yeah, the business, they sell women's clothes. It was for sure. I was getting some drip up in there, but they sell like these women's outfits, like 2 pieces and 1 pieces, and they're different designs. And like you can get the 1 pieces, and I don't know explain it. It's not lingerie. It's like it's almost like rompers, but not really. Like they could be for show, for cosplay or something, but they are nice. You know what I'm saying? You like, but they was in like a boutique type setting, in like a boutique type, man. It was like an underground boutique. The shit was cute, and I was getting some. I stayed the night over there. I knew the people. I had homegirls that worked there for sure. I know my homegirl Jaden was working there from middle school, elementary. When I was a little girl growing up, Jaden Rogers, she was working in that bitch. And there was a couple other bitches I knew, but I knew these bitches. You know, you like, yeah. And while they left, they let us stay the night in this boutique. The boutique, they put out a bed for us to stay the night there. I remember the video started playing, and it was somebody was on my phone. I think it was my child. I had my child on my phone, but you could hear it. And she playing. All you hear is Red. And so I started laughing, trying to go to sleep because I couldn't fall asleep at that point because she playing this video. I started laughing, trying to fall asleep, and I'm laughing at Red. You think I'm playing, nigga? He said, I ain't playing with you, nigga. I want to kill you. And I remember I said, oh yeah, I said, let me see. I said, that's Red. I said, that's Red. Toya has been arguing about Meek Mill. It was beef I already knew about. You like, we already knew about it. The shit was funny as fuck. He was like, nigga, I get on here every day, nigga. nigga, I get on here every day, nigga. You see, you think I want to come on here and talk about this, nigga? You think this shit's funny? It was though. I was laughing. So they like, what is you talking about, Red? So we do laugh, spirit. Shit was funny as fuck.
And so I do. Okay. It was funny as fuck. So that was the story. You like, yeah. And so Red was mad at Meek Mill because he thought Meek Mill paid to get his coworker, his homeboy killed. Okay. And it was a man who was setting me up. And this is how I knew so much about it because Meek Mill is my blood cousin. Like today, you're like, yeah, yes, he is my blood cousin on Kendrick's side. Okay, that's significant. He my family. Like we blood. Okay. And it's crazy because I said I put him in my song. I shouted out his energy in my song Ray, track 2 on my album Soul Vibes. I said, what I said, I said, no, I was like, I'm a new definition, not your average Joan. I told my cousins out in Philly, I do not belong. So that was to Meek Mill. That was like a shout out. He knew I was talking about him. He from Philly, he my cousin. And I'm like, nigga, I'm too different, nigga. I'm too real for Philly, nigga. I know Philly real, but nigga, I'm realer than Philly. Philly get mad at this bitch. Philly would get mad at this type of bitch. He would think, nah, Philly would love you. And so Meek Mill, I have built a connection with him through spirit sometime earlier or sometime last year, late last year. And I found out a lot connected to our family. But whatever that is, he's been watching over me in real time. You know, you like, yeah, he can't be out here. Of course, I can't be out there because you know how the industry go. But Spirit showed me that in a past life, he had just paid for anybody who was setting me up. I was getting set up, okay? And he knew that. He knew that. I was alone at the time in another location, just like I am now. And he'll do this, he'll pay just to see like if anybody said, like if it's anybody, he don't care. If you get caught, that's all it takes. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, like it's not personal when he do it. It's for love. It's for my family. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, it's not like I'm targeting nobody. Nah. So he wasn't targeting the nigga that was Red's friend or Red's coworker, whatever that was. He wasn't targeting him, but Red's coworker, his homeboy, got caught up setting me up in my area, okay? And Meek Mill had already paid for, you know, like he was already invested. You're like, yes, okay, he my family. So he already had invested in, if anybody's fucking with her, get him out of here. It was just like that. His homeboy, Red's homeboy, was fucking with me. All right. And so he had to get killed. It wasn't personal at all. But that's why I left, because I knew it. I knew the story. Like, oh my gosh, he didn't even get it. You know, like this nigga wasn't solid. Spirit is like, he was lying to you, Red. The nigga wasn't your real friend, Red. The nigga was a part of some other shit, Red. You would have never knew working with Gene, Red. Like, Red didn't know who his fake friends were. That's why Spirit was saying, get the fuck out that area, because these niggas ain't really solid. These niggas don't really fuck with you. Like, they over here trying to use you just to be their friend so that they can get over on other people. Like, they just trying to get in where they fit in so they can get, you know what I'm saying, their foot in the door to abuse people, steal, kill, destroy people's life. Like, it's evil, you know what I'm saying? And so it was connected to Gene. He worked with those people. And Red was just mad in a past life. He didn't understand. But I know that it was true. Meek Mill did pay. He paid for whoever setting me up, and it was connected to me. And I was like, yeah, Spirit said he had to, because you was alone. You needed protection from that man. Spirit, like, you needed protection from that nigga. That nigga was doing shit behind everybody's back that would have been solid. Like Red's a solid nigga, but not the people around him. And so Spirit said he was a liar and he set you up and he got to get killed. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time fucking with you. And it was because I was alone at a distance from my family, so my family had to handle it for me. And Meek Mill still did it today. He like, yeah, he paid for whoever was abusing me. And Spirit said, you gonna find out anyway. Like, Spirit was like, let's just tell Red, because Red gonna go to a party or a gathering in the future with the Virgo, Cancer, Sagittarius, Gemini. And they gonna tell Red that it was Meek Mill. They gonna tell. And he gonna get mad with the Pisces, Taurus. And Spirit said, but if you tell him the truth about what was going on, he won't get mad, because Red, he connected to you. And I'm like, okay. So I just needed Red to know, Red watching this, yeah, your homeboy did die. It could have been an Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio. I don't give a fuck. He did die, though. He ain't your real friend. He wasn't solid to no one, nigga. This nigga do everything for nigga money, nigga. You're like, yeah, do everything, nigga, for fame. Do it. You're like that type of nigga, yeah. And so he got killed for abusing me, and he was not targeted. He was just in the wrong place, competing at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah. And so it's not personal. And so when they tell you, just know it's coming from a place of protection, not a place at all of, you know, hate, malice, personal jealousy, envy. Like, it was nothing like that. You're like, nothing. Somebody here just fucked up. You guilty because you was abusing a bitch who was away from her family, who was alone, and you didn't realize her family was protected. Her family was watching her from a distance. And anybody who set her up, like I said, we hear about it all the time. People die all the time and want to get mad at this bitch, but why are you getting invited to my city to set me up? Why are you abusing me? I'm all alone. I'm a single woman on my own. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Working with these niggas, Brooklyn's hit team, Gene and all them. So yeah, it was an Aquarius. It was an Aquarius. Yeah, he's dead. Same thing that happened in the past happened in this life again. He died, Red. He got killed for trying to set me the fuck up for nothing. Didn't even know this man. So Spirit say, if you got anybody to be mad at your friend, nigga, for not knowing he was playing with, whose family he playing with the Gemini, Scorpio, Aquarius, Pisces, Libra, Sag. You know, I get it now. I get it. I get it. He was a liar. A lot of them are red, and that's what I was trying to tell you, nigga. Spirit was trying to tell you, get out that location, take your family out that location, because there's a lot of them like that out there where you are. It's already been set up to fail. Not like that, but in a way to where people will do you dirty without you even being ready for it. Something here like it's dirty out there. It's set up. It's dirty. That's just your confirmation that these type of niggas you've been around. You're like, no, I get it. Okay. So yes, Spirit said, don't be mad at Meek Mill, because he only paid for whoever was abusing her, and he found out, oh, okay, an Aquarius had to die. Yeah, Meek Mill, you stupid cousin. He's like, yeah, it was an Aquarius. And it was just he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time abusing me. It's not personal though, and Spirit just need you to know that it's just family purposes. Like, that's my family. You can't get mad. If that was your family, what would you do? I don't know. All right, so we're done. That's what we do over here. That's what we do. You fuck with us, we get you out of here. We don't want to deal with that. We can't be dealing with that. That's stress. We don't like stress. We don't like problem. Okay, we're solid. We strong. With the Taurus, Pisces. So we're done. They're like, no, that makes sense. But that shit was funny as hell, Papa. I was laughing. After that, I saw this nigga I used to go to school with. I used to go to school. I grew up with him. I went to high school with him. His name's Ahmad Rory. But I ain't seen Ahmad since school. Like, it's been since high school when I last seen him. He was always really good at playing basketball. He could have made it, you know. I don't know. I haven't checked in on the dude. And I didn't know at first why I was seeing him. But Spirit said, because his father's been abusing me and his father be competing with the work I do. I don't know. His father could be a Capricorn. I don't know. But his father and him been fighting and arguing because this nigga had a dream about me, or he started having dreams about me. And I said, what made him dream about me? Like, what was that? Spirit said it was just timing. Like, we just be sending, you know, just timing. Sometimes we just send people dreams, messages. Like, it's not nothing like you have to do about it. It's literally natural. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you get dreams naturally of people get dreams naturally of you. It's just connection, you know, something here's connected. And so they sent him memories of me. And he was arguing with his father, I guess, about me. They've been fighting. He left his father on the cold because his father don't like what I do for work. But Ahmad, Spirit showed me that Ahmad today would be interested in me. And it's just like, it's sad because like his family's abusing me and, you know, trying to like abuse him because of me and the work I do, because he's dreaming about me. The Spirit said they just mad because you have receipts on all type of shit. And they mad because you can see the future. And they mad because Ahmad want to be with you in the future. And he been fighting his father for a connection to share with me. And now the dad's been pulling up and abusing me and everything attached to my name. I feel like the dad knows Gene, but he's been abusing my credibility, my work, my receipt. Oh. And I was like, what? And Spirit said, yeah, Ahmad left his father out in the cold because they kept fighting about me. His dad hates that I do this work. And I don't mind. Like, that's fine. You don't got to fuck with the work I do, but why you got to pull up on me and fuck with me? Or like, why you got to sit outside and watch me and stalk me? Or why you got to abuse me just because your son like me? Like, what type of fucked up father is that? No, I don't understand it. And so I was like, man, Spirit, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But yeah, that's significant, I guess. And I feel like he connected to some shit. That's why it's also coming in Ahmad's memories, you know what I'm saying? Or like his dreams. That's my confirmation. Something here's connected though. He must know something I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, I'm Ahmad's father. Okay. After that, I saw that I was in a dream with some family members, okay, that I was living with. I never been in this home that I was dreaming of. I don't know where this home would be. Like, it's not anything I've seen before, but I was living with some family that I know is my family today, okay? And we were talking and kicking it before I was moving, and I ended up moving. I remember I had to get my shit ready and I had to move away, and I ended up going to Canada. I was Pisces in this dream, and I was going to Canada. I was becoming a teacher at a school in Canada, okay, and it's the same school that I died at in Canada. I had died as Pisces in Canada at this school, and I saw that I was working with kids. Like in the dream, when I started working at the school, I saw these kids was there, and we were sorting out their lunches. There was a couple of the teachers. I remember we were sorting out the kids' lunch, and we had to organize everything, have them in a line, get ready to eat and shit. You like, yeah, it was school. And I remember my cousin Anika, she was in this dream as well, helping too. She was there in Canada, and I asked the kids, does anyone have allergies? I remember some of the kids' moms was there. You could tell it was like the first day, and I remember there was some of the kids' moms came, just to make sure everything was copacetic, like just to oversee things. And I wasn't tripping, and they were with their kids waiting in the line. And I said, yes. I said, does anybody have any allergies? And the moms was like, no. The children who didn't have mom, everybody was like, no, no. But my cousin Anika, she had an allergy. She came up to me and said, I'm allergic to lemonade. I said, lemonade? What are you talking about? She said, lemonade. She's like, I'm allergic to lemonade. Nigga, and I've been knowing Anika all my life. You like, yeah, this bitch never been allergic to lemonade. Ever. Oh. So I said, that's my confirmation. In a past life, she was like, whoever she was in the past life, she couldn't eat lemons or lemonade. She was allergic. It was a no. And I was like, I never seen her be allergic to lemonade in this life. And Spirit said, that's your confirmation, though. She was another energy, and that she was robbed, just like you, was set up just like you. Like you, them kids that was at that school, that was just my confirmation. But I never heard that before, not from her mouth, not nobody. That was very significant. She told me, I'm allergic to lemonade. And I was like, lemonade? She was like, yeah. So that was significant that I had moved to Canada to be a teacher after being the judge as Pisces connected to Gene. When I left that job as the judge to go work with this school, and I left the country, Gene, Jamal, these niggas followed me. You see what I'm saying? They set me up connected to that school. They set that school on fire, but they used this nigga to do it. And I know this nigga's name today. His name's Greg. He's from Baltimore. He's still alive today. I said Greg from Baltimore, also known as E Estates. No, E Estates, Greg. Okay, we'll change something. I hope so. Y'all keep playing with this bitch, because Scorpio, Sagittarius, Gemini. All right, Pisces. So yeah, his name's Greg, also known as E States. E States from Baltimore. He was the one that set the school in Canada on fire. They used him as a yag man. These people who do massive explosions, they be putting down dynamites or nitros underneath the buildings of, these buildings like a school, nigga, to get a massive explosion to where it can kill as many people at one time. I was like, Greg, also known as E States, is still alive today. He never went to jail for this. He was given this opportunity by Gene. And he would look like a clone version of the Sagittarius light-skinned man I used to talk to named Jay. They cloned Jay, just like they cloned Wiz Khalifa. They used Jay. I met Jay in this life. He's light-skinned. He would look like he Asian mixed with black. More Asian, though, but he would look like he Asian mixed with black. He would have long dreadlocks. And in the past, he was cloned. And they was using him because they knew that I was connected to him in a past life. I could trust his energy, but I didn't know that wasn't the same man. You know what I'm saying? You like, yes. And they did it to me twice with Jay. They used Jay's energy 2 times to kill me because I used to talk to Jay. Like, we was fucking around. You know what I'm saying? That was my little Pookie. Like, sweet guy. He's Saji. Sweet guy. But they use Jay because he looks familiar, from my past life. So they'll use somebody who look familiar to you to like set you up and do shit like that. Somebody who you would have probably fond memories with in the past, but that's not that same person. That's just that same face, right? That's their body, but that's not them in there. They clone or AI, but you're gonna welcome that person in because they familiar to you. You're like, yes, because the Leo, you'd welcome them because the Libra. And so they use J. And I said, Gene used Jay's energy his as a clone, and they named this nigga Greg, but they used his energy as a clone to set me up and kill me 2 different lifetimes. One when I was Pisces, connected to that school in Canada, and another time when I was Taurus, a Taurus woman connected to a hotel stabbing. Okay, and that's my identity that my fake granny's living under today. That's how I know Gene's a part of it, working with her. Okay, she a part of it because they use Gene used that same nigga's energy, Jay's energy, as Greg to stab me to death when I was tourist in a hotel room. We were supposed to be lovers. He wasn't the same man on the inside. Okay, it was on the inside. It was on the inside that counts. You like, yeah, but yeah, they faked my death, and that's how I know he a part of the robbery of me as Pisces and Taurus. Gene is. He works with all these people that's playing fake Pisces and fake Taurus. My fake grandparent, no, yeah, my fake grandma, she a part of it. All these motherfuckers, they clone AI, rob identity, setting me up and my family up and getting paid to do it. That's how they got all these businesses. Okay, it's not okay. Teaching the religion, lying and shit about what the fuck this is, what the fuck this means. No. I don't know. I don't know. So that's everything. I do know. And I'm done.